The wheels of automation are greased with the blood of robot workers, and by blood I mean oil, everybody. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Devin, joined as always by my co-hosts, Lauren and Bruce, and today, whatever the hell that nonsense intro means, we are doing more Sonic X comic books.
Yeah.
I never know what to say other than yes, that is correct.
I don't
Yeah,
have anything
well-
more we need to say.
You could say that it's incorrect, maybe one day I'll get it wrong.
I mean, I think you have in the past, and we've
Yeah,
called
I
you
think
out.
it's happened.
I'm pretty sure that a couple times here I've said Sonic the Hedgehog number so-and-so whatever instead of Sonic X number so-and-so whatever, because I'm just so
whatever.
used to that.
That's whatever.
Alright, well, we're starting off here with Sonic X number 21, and, action figures, huh?
Hey, look,
Yeah.
they drew Cosmo again.
Yeah, a little tiny
Yeah.
Cosmo toy at the top. I'm not
Never
sure.
forget she does exist.
Sonic appears to be hanging off the logo, which is crumbling in his hands here. That's not good build quality.
I mean, our logo was meant to be hung off of? I don't know.
That's not a question I've ever considered, to be honest.
I mean, in the title screens of Sonic 1, 2, and 3, he seems to be perfectly fine rested in, like, his elbow on him sometimes. So, I don't know.
Resting an elbow is different than hanging your entire body off of it.
True.
Fair enough. Alright.
You gotta rank the sturdiness of the logo sometimes.
Ah, yes.
Alright, so the story here is Subsonic, written by Mike Bullock, who we have not seen in these comics before, and drawn by Hutchison. Sonic, Tails, Eggman, Decoe, and Bocoe get shrunk down and have to fight in a toy store. Everything you expect from a Shrink Ray episode happens.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
basically.
Shrink Ray episodes of cartoons and comics, they're so common, and you know all of the tropes that happen in them.
Yeah, they're a time it does. Pretty much it all happens here.
I knew this happened in certain continuities of Sonic. I'd read it, some in the Archie comics. I knew there was some episodes in Adventures of Sonic. But for me now, I'm like, all right, if you can't do it at least as well as Sonic the comic, which didn't do it great, but at least did some creative things with it,
Sure.
then don't even bother, because this is just not even trying.
It's no Shanazar, yeah.
Yeah, this feels pretty
Um,
boring.
Yeah, we start in medias res with it, but we then just actually it's not that. It's we start with a flash forward, and then it's like, oh, Sonic, you were having a bad dream.
Sonic's prescient.
Apparently so.
What is this? Sonic the human from the comics? Because that did the same thing. Whatever.
Oh my gosh. The thing is, this isn't a plot point. It's just a coincidence.
It is,
Apparently,
yeah.
Chris just talking about the new toys they want gives Sonic nightmares? What?
Yes,
Certainly,
he's very
hmm.
interested in. They're called Robonicals. I wonder what that's a reference to. Yeah. I don't know if I feel like that makes sense for Chris.
I don't know
Like
why he has to
in-
wait to go to the toy store. He's rich. Just buy them online.
Buy the toy store.
Buy the toy store.
Thing is, we don't actually, even though Chris is part of a super rich family, usually they only get like spoiled when their parents just feel like it. Like obviously they're treated very nicely, they live in a mansion and all that.
Yeah, Chris
But,
himself
like-
doesn't usually get like the spoiling,
Yeah, so I can kind of believe that they might have to wait.
I guess.
Yeah. The toys aren't exactly the point here, though. It's like, it's like, oh, Sonic's having nightmares, Chris is too obsessed with stuff, and Grandpa doesn't give a shit about that. He's like, hey, my old lab buddy, what's his name? Dr. Pell?
Dr. Pell, yeah.
He's working on interdimensional travel via subatomic shrinking, and that, like, set off alarm bells, like, oh, maybe we are doing Shazard, but no.
Well, the thing is,
No, because we don't shrink down that low. That's the thing.
well, when they said that, I'm like, okay, now Chris is gonna freak out about Sonic potentially going home again. But the thing is, they mentioned that it could be used for interdimensional travel here, and then it never comes up again in the rest of this comic.
Yeah.
Basically.
Hey, we get it. We get a look at young Chuck Thorndike, comic exclusive lore.
Wow.
Damn.
If only we cared slightly more about him. But yeah, they're gonna visit him, and he's right next to the toy store that Chris's wants the thing.
Conveniently.
And also conveniently, Eggman is like, hey, these toys make good robot designs.
I love the idea of Eggman just shamelessly stealing his robot design from toys.
I can totally see that.
Oh god, yeah, no, that's not out of character or anything. It's just a funny.
Yeah, but he also wants to steal the Dr. Pell's technology, and also wants to steal more toys.
He just wants to be a bastard today.
Yeah. Well, and Okay, so they get these mech suits, which I guess they can't be a threat to Sonic without them later, but they just look like big versions of their normal bodies.
Yeah.
It's because Eggman ran out of ideas. That's why they need to steal toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why he needs the toys for more ideas.
I should have given these comic writers. No, yeah. So we get into the actual main plot of this. It's like we have this setup stuff, and then this one page is like, all right, get on with it already. It's kind of incomprehensible what happens if you're not looking closely.
Yeah, I had to go back and read this page like 3 times.
Okay, panel 1. Heroes are here to see the shrink ray. Panel 2. Sonic says, get on with it. Panel 3. Dr. Pell activates the thing. Panel 4. Eggman, Decoe, and Bocoe crash through the wall. Eggman points at Sonic. All 5 of them get shrunk. Chris falls over, and then panel 6, a piece of rubble hits the remote and
It's
breaks it.
very badly
Yeah.
put together, this page. It's hardly even makes sense even when you explain it like that. Like it's just such a convenient coincidence that
Basically.
this is how the plot gets kicked off, basically. Because like, yeah, they're like, okay, I'm gonna test it, and then they break in at the same time, and apparently it knocks them off balance in just the right way that they shoot both Tails, Sonic, and Eggman, Decoe, and Bocoe, and then yeah,
What?
like you said, then the device gets destroyed immediately afterwards. It's like, okay, great, I guess.
So weird.
So yeah, Sonic's nightmare is coming to pass. With giant Eggman, Deco, and Bocoe mech suits, which they're giant, but they're to scale, so it's like it's not that different from normal.
I do like that Eggman's immediate reaction to this is new plan, destroy Sonic. Like, they're not really that concerned. They're just like, oh,
No.
look, I can still destroy Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's got his priorities straight.
Sonic and Tails steal Chris's convenient toy plane that he brought, and also it works as a real plane.
That all the toy vehicles in this comic
Yeah.
do that.
I mean,
for some reason.
that's standard for these kinds of plots.
Yeah,
well,
true.
Okay, later on they drive like the auto like big wheel things, and those are at least real toys that kids have that exist. I don't think there's many remote control planes maybe, but they don't do that.
Well,
Okay, but Tails operates it with a tiny button that's
Yeah.
in the cockpit of it. There'd be nothing designed like that.
that's true. That's
Anyway, so they fly to the toy store, and in fairness, Tails can't control the plane. He says the controls don't respond. So I don't know why the plane goes to the toy store, but
it just returns to its origin.
yeah, exactly.
of course. But they crash through, and then most of the rest of this is toy store hijinks. Run through the aisles, hide in the stuffed animal, camouflage, chase through a dollhouse. Eggman breaks out the big wheel, like I said later.
Decoe and Bocoe swap out their arms for arms off of like toy
From
robots that somehow fit
Robonicals, I think.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Eggman, if these are the robots that he based off of the Robonicals, and those
Which I
are
think they are.
Robonicals that they found.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Eggman could have seen like advertisements or something. Yeah, okay.
Advertisements, seen them online. He's had access to the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
God, and Eggman discovers the internet and like shit posts about Sonic comic would be amazing in this series.
That would be funny, yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
I kind of rifled through a lot of the important stuff there.
I mean, I don't know. There's not a whole this entire toy store section. There's not a lot going on. I mean, there's plushies of all of Sonic and Friends, sort of at least. They're kind of off-brand.
It's weird that they're all like angry. I don't know what's up.
Yeah, they're
with
all
that.
angry. Vector's also wearing Wario's overalls.
Oh, I didn't think that these were off-brand. I thought they were just of poor quality, but that
I
might
think
make
that's
a
what
little.
they're supposed to be, but I got the impression they were off-brand.
Well, that's possible because my immediate reaction to this is they're making merch of these people in universe. Like, that's kind of strange. But if they're supposed to look off so that there's like plausible deniability, that makes a little more sense actually.
Yeah, it's like it's Speedy the Porcupine, not Sonic.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if that's true. I think Sonic does say that one of them is supposed to be Tails, which would mean they're not off-brand. Which means they probably had to license their likeness.
That's what I was thinking. It was like, I don't remember any of that happening.
That I would have read that.
They do not want you to think too hard about this.
No, they don't. But like, I kind of have to.
Well, I mean, it's not like the rest of this comics is that intellectually stimulating. Because I mean,
none of these comics.
Chuck and Pell are trying to fix the shrink ray to get him back to normal. They chase Sonic more. They they fire their glove hands off.
Yeah.
Decoe and Bocoe fall in love with the doll.
That's true. They
part
fall in
is
love with
weird.
Barbie.
I don't.
That's an odd one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
It doesn't seem in character. There are a few moments in these comics where I feel like the writers don't know these characters and they're just doing things because funny.
Yeah. I do like the science men. They spend a minute just like congratulating and complimenting each other, like, "Oh, you're such a good scientist, man. Oh, I'm not the best, you are." And then he's like, "Yeah, just give me the fucking shrink-weight. We gotta help Sonic."
It's like, Jesus, we have something we need to be doing.
That's actually great. That's actually a good moment. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good moment. I like.
Tails steals the Barbie car. Eggman crashes into a shellfish. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Break through the window.
His second vehicle of the day.
That's true. I was just surprised how destructive this little toy car is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that, or how shoddily put together the dollhouse is.
Actually, that's more likely. I could see that.
Either one, really.
But it's like they portray it like they're just about to lose when they have the fist missiles aimed at them.
Yeah,
like...
Tails is like, I guess this is the end, all dramatic like.
Yeah, are these whoever's manufacturing them, are they putting explosives in the toys?
They don't explode is the thing. They just doink off the floor.
Yeah, so like, I guess,
I mean, I'm sure that relative size, if you get hit by those things, it's probably gonna hurt. But I don't think
it's not gonna kill you guys.
Yeah. But just in time, quote unquote, they get in there with the fixed machine and turn everybody back to full size. And I do.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go first.
I do like the panel of the Egg Gang going out the door, and then they go back to full size on top of the tiny big wheel.
I love Egg Gang. That's a good way of describing them.
The Egg Gang is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a little disappointing though, because I was like, okay, if they're both shrunk down, then presumably Eggman will have to do something sneaky to return normal size. But no, they just get caught at it. Also, when they're restored, okay, a little boring, but whatever.
It's a little boring, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, this issue's a waste of time. You don't need to read this one.
This is filler.
100%, yes.
You know, there's maybe a couple okay jokes. It's not, it's not hostile to the senses or anything. There's nothing offensive.
No.
It's just bleh.
No, it's just boring.
Also, the Chuck had to pay for all the shit they broke. That part's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Moving on. Sonic X number 22. Eggman is getting rid of Decoe and Bocoe. I know that won't stick, but this is exactly the kind of plot that I can see this continuity doing.
I mean, with how bumbling they are, I'm surprised it took them this long.
I like that they're in a dumpster.
Yeah.
It's
what else
so
do you do with them?
sad. I mean, I guess I'm jumping ahead, but it's obvious that this sort of thing won't stick around, and it would be great if, even for just like 2 or 3 issues, just a little bit of time.
Oh yeah, it would have been nice if it was for more than one issue at least.
But I guess we'll see what they do for one issue.
Yeah. I'm thinking about how, in the show they left Eggman and went to go live with Chris, and I was like, oh, that could be an interesting dynamic. And then they go right back to him the next episode.
I forgot they did it in the show too.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe they took inspiration for that. I don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me, actually.
Yes, but this is Decoe and Bocoe's Not So Excellent Misadventure, a Bill and Ted reference. How odd. Edkin and James Fry, hey, another Archie veteran. When Decoe and Bocoe screw up one too many schemes, Eggman fires them and replaces them with more competent robots. This creates a problem for Sonic and the gang, and for one very frustrated ice cream shop owner.
Oh my gosh. True.
Yeah.
So we begin with Sonic and Westwood in the middle of an Eggman attack, with Sonic suggesting a strategy and Westwood being an uncooperative contrarian bitch.
Yep.
I don't take orders from you, Sonic. Cool, then you can die.
I don't know how this guy hasn't gotten fired yet.
It's a very good question.
His career reeks of failing upward.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sonic does his thing regardless, and then Eggman still fails not because Sonic does anything in particular, but because Decoe and Bocoe pressed the wrong button. And
I'm gonna
he
be honest,
blames,
don't blame Decoe and Bocoe here. Blame Eggman for poorly designing his robots.
and for not labeling the buttons. So like,
Hey, a good design doesn't always need label.
I mean, if you're saying like the big red button is the
is the murder button.
well, but that could be the murder button, or it could be the self-destruct. Those are both things that they do in fiction.
You
so
color
never know.
code things.
Okay, but as is pointed out in the comic a little later, why is there a button that makes the arms and the legs detach?
I mean, that's
Like,
also a
yes.
good point.
It's not their fault.
No, it isn't their
Yeah.
fault.
Well, and every Eggman robot is only as good as the Eggman who designed it. So yeah.
It's true.
Exactly.
But he blames them for his failure, and he says that you're fired. You're not working for me anymore. Not Bokun though. Apparently he's fine because that's his son.
Boku
Maybe
doesn't
I don't
do
know.
shit.
There's such the heck.
I get
Boku
they,
doesn't do anything. So of course, you can't fire him because he hasn't done anything to be worthy of firing.
Bokun
I
is
guess.
such a weird fucking character. We've mentioned this a couple times. Besides the fact that he doesn't look like a robot, really, he also he eats food, and like in that one episode of Sonic X, they're having Eggman like trying to cook for him, and it genuinely does feel like he's some stupid he's kid. I don't know what's up with him.
Yeah.
Bokun's existence is an enigma.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized that has Bokun even delivered any messages in these comics? Did they forget the one? They forgot the one thing that Bokun is supposed to do.
Bokun's existence in these comics has primarily just been annoying.
He's had bombs, but I don't think he's had the
that's
actual
true.
exploding monitors like in the show.
I don't believe so.
I remember those way more.
And I don't know
that's
if
when
they
he,
ever
like,
refer to him
actually
as Messenger Robo, although they stopped doing that in the show too.
Yeah, they actually gave him a name eventually.
Anyway, the henchbots are now unemployed and homeless. They have to find jobs to pay for oil, not like battery power. But
it's inconsistent with what we've seen before, but it is also kind of amusing to see Decoe and Bocoe walking around and everyone is just like super freaked out by them.
Yeah, because normally when they're walking around, no one gives a crap.
But they decide to get jobs, and they go to an ice cream parlor
called Turbo something. Ice cream should not be that radical.
What possible name for an ice cream place could have Turbo in the title?
I don't know. Turbo Cold?
You could call it Turbo Swirl, but that sounds more like a frozen yogurt.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one.
Anyway, Eggman is so happy to be alone. He is so happy to not have them anymore. I kind of, it's like reading this, I kind of didn't want them to come back.
Yeah, he seems to be so happy they're gone.
And he builds new henchbots. Meet Decoe and Bocoe.
I hate
Great
those
name.
names.
Yeah, I don't.
They're ridiculous. And in my notes, it's like some of the time here I, put earlier stuff into the notes or later stuff into earlier notes just for the sake of brevity. But I definitely wrote without even seeing it, these things are just gonna fuck up in some other way.
Which kind of.
Well, as soon as I saw their designs, I was like, oh, they're gonna turn on him. Like they have evil eyes. They're going to turn on Eggman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic and Friends coincidentally hit Turbo whatever ice cream after Chris's soccer game. Does he play soccer in the show at all? I don't think he does.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so that's a meaningless life detail that the comics add that is technically lore. Anyway,
yeah.
But they meet the henchbots there, only to discover they've ruined this place as badly as Eggman.
Yeah, so I mean they are incompetent. Let's keep that clear.
What could they have possibly done?
Well,
it's bad. It is all over the walls and ceiling.
The gray one, I still don't remember which one's which. Is currently shaking a milkshake but for some reason shaking a milkshake. You make those in a blender in like a cocktail shaker, and it's all splashing out. So that doesn't help.
I'll be honest.
Honestly, no, go ahead.
It's kind of a funny visual to see that, but I actually dislike this because I have always preferred the idea that villains who always lose, it's because the interplay between them uh makes them worse for each other.
Sure.
But no, this says no, it actually is because Decoe and Bocoe are just bad at everything.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I've always gotten the
personally,
impression they were like that, but I also agree with you.
I feel like this is a misunderstanding of the characters. Again, personally, because I always got the impression that Decoe and Bocoe kind of understood what was going on, were a little more level-headed than Eggman, because Eggman is just like blinded by their own genius, basically. And Decoe and Bocoe have more realistic outlooks. I guess this doesn't conflict with that directly. And, you know, to be fair, they've never worked a regular job before.
True,
But this
but
is such a
still,
spectacular failure, whereas I would expect them to just, you know, fail in more mundane ways than this, perhaps.
Well, yeah, if they made it worse by treating it like the Eggman job, that would be kind of funny. You know,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
they keep assuming that everything's going to be some big confrontation.
Right.
Or something, but no. Anywho, I do like the next joke, which is where they see Eggman attacking Area 99 on the news, and then Sonic shows up there without us even seeing him leave, so they just see him on the TV.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
But yes, the robot from page 1 is back. Boken is piloting it, but it launches out Decoe and Bocoe. I have to remind myself to not say Decoe and Bocoe when I see it.
Now you have to say infinitely stupider names.
I mean, it's one vowel changed per each.
I know, and it makes it sound even stupider.
It's just stupider that the names are so similar, that's all.
Oh yeah.
Well, in any case, Sonic is up for the fight, but these new bots, they're pretty tough, you know? In fact, they just cut past whatever actually happens and show Sonic in a pile of rubble. And yeah, Eggman beat Sonic! He won! Oh my gosh, it's so amazing! No, it's not.
No.
He only did this for the sake of showing off the robots, so the fact that he won is kind of glossed over. They don't even... Like, you'd think that he would be, like, jumping for joy and like, oh my god, I finally gave Sonic a defeat! But, like,
Well, he
no,
also
just...
wanted the arms from, I think just the arms from the robot, that ejected them.
Yeah, to be fair, at first when I read this, I was kind of like, wait a minute, are these like super robots that are actually extremely effective for no good reason? But to be fair, yeah, they were just going for the arms and legs. We are later going to see them actually face off against Sonic, and they're not that overwhelming.
But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I guess I saw them fly towards Sonic, and I saw the explosion. I saw Sonic in the pile of rubble. It's very odd, because they do that, and then the whole place explodes, and then they fly out the top. So what did they do? You know? Did they just blow up the warehouse and then grab the arms? Is that it?
I
That is
assume
the
so.
question, yeah.
Okay, so that does explain it, but it means that showing off their power is not really going that... Because any robot can blow up a place. It's
Sure,
blowing up
yeah, I mean,
Sonic
hell.
is the hard part. Did Sonic just not get out of the way of the rubble?
Hell, one of us could blow up a building.
Fact of the matter
Minecraft.
is, well, see, I think, here's the thing. This actually is a little bit of a key difference. Decoe and Bocoe would see Sonic, and well, they would either just give up immediately, but if
Yeah,
they didn't,
they'd panic or something.
if they didn't give up immediately, they would give extremely feeble attempts to attack Sonic and then instantly get defeated. Whereas these robots, they're like focused on the mission. They go for it and then they leave. So
Yeah.
that's why they're actually more effective.
It's still weird that Sonic says those are the toughest robots Eggman ever built if he didn't really fight them, though.
It's the only way I can explain it. Otherwise, it makes
No,
no
I get
sense.
it. You're not wrong to say it. Anyway, we haven't even talked about the other thing on this page, which is that the sudden but inevitable betrayal happens. The robots decide Eggman would never actually succeed on his own, presumably due to his miserable win-loss ratio. And they decide, we'll take over the world instead. You can go to jail.
Yep,
which-
the rule is that whenever Eggman makes robots that are very effective, they must betray them.
Apparently. Yeah, it's dumb.
I mean, I don't hate that concept. I just kind of hate that this just comes out of nowhere. Usually robots like that are more built up and have interesting plots behind them. These are just like, oh, I just built replacements for my incompetent henchmen.
Yeah. So, Sonic leaves, and he goes back to the ice cream place. And, it's funny, before, the first time, Sonic cleaned the place up, and they're like, alright, give him another chance. And they're like, alright, we'll try again. We'll try to do better next time. We won't let you down. He gets here, and in way less time, it's even worse than before. It's on fire in certain places.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous.
The hell did you do? we have seen them. We have seen exactly one of them do one thing, and yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be chocolate dipped bananas they're holding, but they're covered red like they're hot dogs.
Again, this would not be hard to make this better, because when Decoe and Bocoe were watching on the TV, like the Eggman attack earlier, they were like, oh wow, that used to be our job. Like they were saying that kind of sad. So if you just showed them like continuing to watch the TV and be completely distracted, or they're like working, that would make more sense. But this just happens because I don't know. They're just really that bad.
Yeah. Anywho, Boken arrives to the ice cream place to say, hey, we need to get the doc out of prison because the robots imprisoned him. And Sonic's like, I'll go with you. A, I want to beat those new robots, and B, he should have more incompetent robots. That makes my job easier.
Yeah.
And he brings a ring along, and Eggman's not worried. He's in prison, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Sonic always wins, so I'll be able to get out of here.
Yeah, I'll be out of here eventually, don't worry.
Yeah, in really bad spots like this, Eggman usually sort of gets a level head for a second. Like
right.
that.
Which is really interesting. Like, how consistent that is.
The robots are like, all right, we will most definitely conquer the Earth with a probability of like 98 point. I'm not going to read that whole thing out, but it's a very precise number with lots of decimal points. And then Sonic exactly takes the opposite of that 1 point whatever percent odds. It's like, I like those odds. Like, wow, he did that math real fast.
God damn, Sonic, I didn't know your game.
I mean, it's just subtraction, but it's very, very precise subtraction.
Okay,
yeah.
Can you do that in your head?
I just said it was very fucking precise. I didn't say it wasn't impressive. I could do it if you gave me time.
The implication is that they say it and Sonic immediately responds.
Right.
Yes, and that's funny. I like it. It's not a bad thing. Sonic does math fast because Sonic is fast anyway.
You know what? True. He does everything fast.
See, fast thinking is not usually what they showcase with Sonic. I mean, I guess fast reactions, but this is a little different.
I guess. Anyway, sorry, yawning. So the henchbots and Boken head to free the Doctor while Sonic fights Decoe and Bocoe. He punches. I guess that's Bocoe. I don't remember what. I'm pretty sure they said the names once when both of them were on screen, so I remember which one is which of these even less.
Well, it should be the same name that corresponds to the originals, but I don't remember what the originals are named either.
So it's like you said before, like, oh, Sonic fights him later, not that tough. He delivers one blow to the gray one before they switch to something else. So I don't know how strong they are. It's like it falls over, sure, but it gets back up.
Okay, they say themselves that the ring gives Sonic an edge, so maybe they're not a match without the ring. But I mean, I guess I don't know how much a ring boosts their power. Either way, at this point, they seem to think that they have to create a diversion. They couldn't just beat Sonic normally at this point.
I suppose, yeah. And their diversion is the robot from the start, the egg capsule with arms and legs, I guess. They are launching it as a bomb to blow up the city. So okay, and then
moment.
Certainly a plan, but it's not a bad one.
So then they go to chase the henchbots, who slip on a banana peel into the control console for the jail cell, which then explodes and frees him.
It's funny because even though the robots are really smart, they just used one of Eggman's existing jail cells, I assume, and so it was still subject to catastrophic failure.
Yes. Eggman can't even defeat himself properly.
Exactly.
Anyway, Boken gets the remote to the new robots, and Eggman self-destructs them, and then launches them out the window.
That's actually a rare, smart Eggman move, making a self-destruct button for the robots.
Yeah, I mean, how many times in fiction do you have a self-destruct program that's used for the thing it's meant to be used for instead of just to get rid of something by the heroes?
Yeah.
Anywho, Sonic chases down the robot that's going to be a bomb, and then he just smacks it, and that changes its trajectory and sends it directly back to the egg carrier?
Uh-huh. Just like that.
Yeah, it's physics.
And then it hits the
Magic.
robot pieces in the sky and explodes them all, even though it didn't explode Sonic when he hit it.
It's a good point, actually. I didn't think of that.
Maybe it's the robot pieces hit the button on the top, and Sonic just hit the side? It's like a TNT plunger, maybe? I don't know.
You know, if it was knocked slightly at the wrong angle, I guess that's consistent. That because I talked about the Sonic Adventure when the missile doesn't detonate. So I guess this thing might not detonate in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Also, this explosion, it blows up the robot pieces and also blows up Decoe and Bocoe, but not Eggman or Boken, which are right next to them.
They're just too. They're not good enough to.
No, you see, Decoe and Bocoe are linked to their better selves, and so they feel some of their pain.
Oh, of course. I like that Eggman says he's going to pay them less than the $0 they were paid before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start giving money to Eggman.
And then it's just a see you next time. It's weird. Like, you'd think that this would be a Decoe Bocoe spotlight, but it really didn't do anything for them. In fact, it made them worse in many ways.
Oh yeah, I did not like this. They could have done a lot more with this, and they didn't.
Wasn't a whole lot going on here, so what was going on was pretty.
I don't know if I'd call them the worst. These two must be the most forgettable Eggman minions just in the franchise.
I still don't know which one's which, so that already says a lot.
I'm pretty sure the yellow one is Decoe and the gray one is Bocoe.
I will proceed to forget that by next week.
But it's like, Scratch and Grounder had more stuff to do even though they were annoying, and they had more of a personality dynamic where these are basically the two of the exact same character.
Right.
Sleet and Dingo had more stuff to do. Fucking,
it's funny 'cause people fucking hate Sleet and Dingo, apparently. I didn't realize that.
Honestly, Sleet and Dingo and Scratch and Grounder are both both really, really good. Like, for two stupid minions, they're good for that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I love Sleet and Dingo already, so...
Honestly, I wouldn't put Decoe and Bocoe particularly above Orbot and Cubot, but that's just me.
I can kind of agree with that. I mean, if for a lot of Eggman... We might have to rank Eggman.
We said we were going to at some point.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Orbot and Cubot, I would say they have personalities and a dynamic. That's what ranks them above for me.
I think for Eggman Lackeys, it's kind of hard to beat Snively.
No, we're Snively stands. I know that.
But only the pairs were valid for this comparison.
Yeah, because Grimer doesn't really rank either in the same way.
Yeah, Grimer, would be more apt to compare to Snively.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'd put, like, the fucking Chaos Council, because those are just Eggman at different times of his life.
I haven't even watched them.
I guess.
Okay, everybody fucking hates the baby, I know that much, so... Anyway, we're getting off track here. Let's move on to Sonic X number 23, where we actually get some of the original recurring plots of this comic going. Sonic has a stalker.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And given that there's a shuriken in there, you'd think it might be Espio, but it's not.
That would be weird.
That would be odd.
But this is hedgehogging their bets, Flynn and Yardley. Flynn, please save us from these fucking boring stories. Sonic finds himself kidnapped by a secret society. Who could they be?
I mean, I'd say that's saving us from this boring filler.
Well, we'll judge it when we're through it, but yeah.
Sonic is chased by a weird shark car. Why is it designed like that?
I mean, there is actually an explanation for this later, kind of.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of.
But he's being chased. Some mechs show up to shoot at him. Are these, like, gun hunters? They kind of look like them, but they are robots.
Once again, there's kind of an explanation for why they look like gun hunters too, actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're right at the corner of Yardley Street and Flynn Street, I'll add. Or sorry, Yardley Road.
Roads and streets. No, yeah. I don't know why roads are named like... Whatever. I'm getting off topic. So they shoot at him, but he's masterfully dodging. He can get away. It's no problem. But then he lands in some garbage, I guess, and a capsule closes around him from inside of it.
You can't catch Sonic in a sudden trap like this. That's don't know. Be smarter. Like, if you're gonna catch Sonic, do something different than just something is too fast for Sonic. You can't do that. It doesn't work. It's not believable.
Yeah, he can say it's some kind of prison when it hasn't even fully closed. You can get 2 lines out.
Yeah, exactly. He should have been able to escape.
Okay, though
Yeah,
that is making me think of how in fucking Sonic Generations, Sonic stops to mug the camera for a second and misses out while Classic Sonic runs ahead, and Sonic fails to get through a door at one point. So, if you get Sonic talking, you can actually do that.
Fair, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like in the famous moment in Sonic Adventure 2, Eggman catches Sonic in a quick trap, but Sonic is distracted. Here, they're running away. They should be like focusing.
Yeah. So, bad job on that one. But good job on, I guess, successfully doing it. You just shouldn't be able to. But Sonic awakes in a dark room with the council of tertiary villains persecuting him. The first one we see is the corrupt gun official guy from the anime who tried to kill Eggman that one time and then Sonic saved him.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't remember that little arc until this comic jogged.
Yeah, so I saw these characters and I was like, think some of these characters have shown up before, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure on all of them.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this guy did show up. His name is I don't remember.
Something.
I don't know if he even had a name in the show. But
I think they call him Passer in an issue coming up.
yeah, his
Like
name is
Commander
I remember.
Passer?
His name is Card Passer, which is ridiculous. But yeah,
Jesus.
he was that guy. And then this other guy, the guy who was chasing Sonic in the car before, is a former teammate of Sam Speed's. He was Sam's rival before Sonic showed up. And his name is Hector Drag. So he is not in the show, I don't think.
I didn't think he
Okay.
was.
I didn't
Except
think-
maybe as a background character, but
Sure, background's one thing, but much of Sam's team, I don't think really.
no,
I think
no,
they're all
nobody
background
matters except Sam in the
characters.
show.
Yeah, they're all.
And even then,
background
he
characters.
really doesn't matter that much.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And then the weirdly crazy Prison Island warden from the Sonic Adventure 2 episodes is here. And I remember
this guy.
I
I
remember us
didn't.
commenting on how weird he was.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
remember him. I thought he was just a background character.
No, this guy's strange. He's worthy to bring back.
Although
Fair
it does show that even though Prison Island exploded, people survived it. So, you know,
Sure.
our kill count for Eggman is in a shaky place here.
Eggman can only kill people by implication, and as long
Right.
as it's never disproven, then you can say it's true. But yeah, in this case,
And then we also have the Doctor from the start of episode 2, when the news is trying to figure out who Sonic is, and he's like, oh, it must be a machine.
wait, you're kidding me? I thought this guy had to be made up for the comic.
Yeah, I figured
Nope.
he was made up also.
Nope, he is
That's
from
actually
the
really
Area
impressive.
99 episode where Sonic goes to save cream and cheese and says shit in the
Oh.
Japanese version.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about that episode.
Yeah. So he appears on TV to say, "Oh, it can't be biological." And then he apparently him saying that despite the fact that these are aliens that do not function on any kind of Earth physics, him saying that it couldn't possibly be a life form got him fired. It got his funding taken away.
What?
So he could. I want to be clear. He lost his funding, so I can no longer research my Chimera projects. What the fuck was
to
he
be fair,
doing?
that project should have been shut down before Sonic showed up.
That's a crime against nature. Is this Shao Tucker? Is this the guy from Full Metal Alchemist? What did he do? I don't know, but
That's a
And then they also have that gangster, the mob boss from the Knuckles and Hawk episode.
Why does he care about getting back at Sonic?
I don't know. I guess he just like
If
Knuckles
he gets
Sonic
back at
same
Sonic,
difference.
he could get a if he can get back at one of the furries, he can get back at both of them.
Yeah, he says I'll get back at him through you if need be. So.
Right, which is okay, sure thing, bud.
But by far the most important inclusion in all of this.
French fries for lunch.
It's
Fuck
Jerome
yeah.
Wise, everybody! My boy!
Returns.
Fucking
I can't
Christ.
believe I didn't know he'd be in these comics.
They
Neither
freed
did
him.
I.
They freed my boy.
Jesus Christ.
And he tells his whole story. I got fired for working with Eggman. I was homeless. I had to I had to dress up in a knight outfit and get punched. And I love that they treat him as a joke even within this secret society. Like everyone hates him and thinks he's pathetic.
Of course, as they should.
Yep.
And yes, he also named this shadow organization the Society for Observing and Neutralizing Interdimensional Creatures and Xenomorphs, or as Ian Flynn's love for corny wordplay calls it, Sonic X.
Sonic reacts accordingly to this also.
I'm mildly surprised that Sonic is like, I don't know what the X is for. I would expect him to break the fourth wall here, but okay. I mean, there was an Eggman X moment in the show.
Yeah. I think this is ridiculous, but
Fucking silly.
I love that Sonic just does not take them seriously at all.
Of course.
He escapes, he breaks out of those chains. It's like he didn't even need to. He was just here for fun. He could have gotten
Yeah,
out.
he was staying there just to be polite.
Yeah.
Well, you have to let the villains monologue, no matter how
Yeah, of
pathetic they
course.
are.
Yeah, that's the law. That's the rules.
It's true.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, they got goons. You bet they got goons, but they stand absolutely no threat whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got quote-unquote gun robots, although it's weird that Sonic says they look like Eggman robots.
Well, maybe Eggman is making robots for gun. Did you think about that?
Which something we've theorized previously.
Well, the gun robots were designed by Gerald, they usually say, but...
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's a familial design passed down.
Yeah.
Well, Eggman... Actually, I don't remember this continuity if Eggman knew about Gerald already.
This is the bullshit part, because it doesn't make any sense, because how can Eggman know who Gerald is, or even realize that Gerald exists and is his grandfather if he has never been to Earth?
Well, yeah, that's why SA2. That's why the whole Eggman being from Earth in Sonic X makes...
Well, they barely explain it. That's
they
the
don't.
thing.
Yeah, it's...
In normal continuity, though, Eggman looked up to Gerald and would have been inspired by the design, so it makes sense there. Here, too bad you screwed up.
That's not a sin of this comic in particular, though, so whatever.
No.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, yes, Sonic rides out of there on one of the Beetles, and we see he actually was on Prison Island the entire time. What's left of it,
I thought that
at
was
least.
Prison Island.
It should be covered in green sludge. This is not faithful to Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog hasn't happened. Or won't?
It won't.
Yeah.
There's no black arms in Sonic X.
I don't
Maybe
know
there
if I
should
would
be.
have
Have them
Sonic
fight
X.
against the Metarex.
Actually, honestly, the Metarex arc probably should have just been Black Arms instead.
They have pretty different goals, I would say.
No, well, I know. I just means like do it as a tie-in for Shadow 05.
Well, this has been my thing, is that I want the Sonic Aliens... Sorry, the crossover between Sonic Aliens. I was like, wait, I don't mean a Sonic and Alien crossover.
You said that was my immediate thought. Like, are we going over with aliens?
Black Arms, Zorda, Metarex, Dracon, get all of them together, big fight.
Yeah.
Okay, the Dracon would carry that. All the other ones I don't care
Yeah.
about, but the Dracon would be cool to see again.
I don't know if they're aliens in Sat AM or Underground or Adventures that would really be worth.
I don't think there's any in Sad.
No.
Oh, the return of... shoot, wait, I'm blanking. Goopster, that's right, Goopster.
Oh yeah, there
have
was
sucked
an
them
Adventures
up.
of Sonic Alien.
Oh, that's an episode I didn't watch.
No, yeah.
Okay, no
and
matter.
who could blame you? That's not a good episode.
No,
I mean, how many good episodes does that show actually have?
At least
4.
four.
the Emerald Arc.
At least 4. That's true.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Sonic gets home just in time to see Chris and company getting ready to leave to go save him. And I like that
It's just so disappointed.
he's so disappointed to see that Sonic is just fine.
I wanted to lead my own mission.
I don't like this kid. He's like, this is like, there's something, what's the word?
I feel like for every time we give props to Chris, he does something that makes us like him less.
It's that he has an emotional dependency on Sonic, and here he seems to be annoyed that
Yeah.
Sonic doesn't have one on him. you know?
To be fair, I mean they are kids, so like yeah, sometimes
Sure.
No,
we
I
get
mean, kids
annoyed
can
by
be
Yeah.
them, and
shit.
sometimes
I'm not.
they're
Yeah.
That's the thing is that, like, I don't feel that good, like, shitting on children even when they're fictional, so it's like, but
It depends on the child.
I'm
This
shitting on
does
how the
create
adults wrote the child.
well,
Sure, yeah.
yeah, true.
Anyway,
I love that Knuckles is like, looks like I left Angel Island for nothing.
yeah, I'm surprised that he was there at all, honestly.
Yeah, they have to do a lot to get him to leave Angel Island. Or
Well, I'm thinking
sometimes they do.
like episode 3 or whatever the show. It's like, oh, Sonic's fighting Eggman, and what do I fucking care? Anyway, Sonic explains all the stuff that happened to the gang, and Knuckles actually did stick around until morning. It looks like, or I guess maybe it's early morning right now. Anyway,
I guess he doesn't want to fly home at night.
Well,
Uh.
Sonic asks them to stay because they tell them that
Oh, yeah.
there's a gangster that's trying to get back at them and Hawk.
Fair.
Yeah, Knuckles says he'll go warn Hawk. I don't think Hawk is actually in any of these comics, but I presume he did it.
Yeah.
You know, Sonic explains everything. They tell him, "Don't worry, those guys are losers." And Sonic, for some reason, decides to say they have resources and connections. What if they're a real threat? And yes,
they are losers.
Yeah, but it means that we get a mysterious cliffhanger as they get new orders from their mysterious organizer. Who could that be?
Well, we won't find out today.
Yes, indeed. Anywho, so that's that issue. I am entertained by that one, and I think that this will be
It's fine.
at least a new speed for the comics. It's like, when I see Flynn's name, it's like, I know that I'm not going to find myself hating life, at least, although I do think that
fine.
not every comic he does for these is a winner, but it's hard when it's so episodic.
Sure, yeah.
It's hard when it's Sonic X.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's move on to Sonic X number 24. Hey, look at that thing. It's kind of a Metal Sonic style robot design. You could convince me that that actually belongs in a Sonic Team game.
True.
Yeah.
But this is Camera Hog, written and drawn by Tracy Yardley. This is the first time Yardley has written something.
I didn't notice that. Interesting.
Yeah. And he writes a couple Archie issues later too, I believe.
Huh.
But Sonic and the gang are getting interviewed on TV, but it turns out this is a secret Eggman plot to train a malicious AI on their abilities.
It's a little close to home right now.
Yeah.
I've seen Eggman do this before. This is right out of like Sonic Heroes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I love here that everyone is sitting here for the TV, and Sonic is like, "Yo," and Tails is like, "Hi," and Amy blows a kiss, and then Knuckles says, "I should be guarding the Master Emerald."
Yeah.
It's this bullshit.
It's another thing I'm surprised he agreed to, but
yeah.
If you at least make Knuckles super grumpy about it, I'll believe it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll take it if he's just like, I shouldn't be here.
Knuckles can be convinced of a lot of things. They're just begrudging a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And, well, I wish they made this reveal look a little less obvious, because Chris looks behind the camera for 1 second and sees the Eggman robots.
He almost gets it. He's like,
Yeah, like, are you not seeing the thing you think you're seeing? I guess he's kind of silhouetted for the one shot we see, Chris. But it's like, that should be obvious. Like, maybe you have, like, the intense camera lighting or something, but they're outside, so,
Yeah.
And he does suspect that Eggman's here, but doesn't actually realize while everybody's still talking.
He gets snapped back to the show. I can't entirely blame the kid.
Yeah. And
Sonic also brags about having a 0 to 60 time of 7 seconds. That's not very fast.
No,
yeah, that seems slow for Sonic.
Cheetahs are faster. Cheetahs have I read that tonight or earlier. And I was like, that sounds wrong. And I looked it up. Cheetahs, which are the fastest land animal, have a 0 to 60 time of 3 seconds. The fastest car, which I don't remember what brand it was, has a 0 to 60 time of 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. And Sonic's supposed to be getting up to the speed of sound. That's like, what?
Sonic has been multiple times shown to have instantaneous acceleration.
Yeah, so
So, uh-oh.
Meaningless
Someone
line
didn't
was
think about
written
this.
wrong.
Yes, fuck you. This line was written.
Gosh.
Realistically, he just shouldn't have a 0 to 60 time because he can go basically to max speed instantaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not in keeping with the games that are. Well, actually, I guess the
Well,
boost games.
the boost games
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
'Cause
I
he
didn't
can
think about
boost-
that.
He
Well,
can
I'm thinking
go
about
from
Spin Dash.
with Spin Dash also.
Well,
With the
but they have
boost, he
to.
can go from
Yeah.
with the boost. He can go from standing to going at basically, I assume, close to or at top speed, basically instantaneously.
Well, there's no Sonic Rush in this continuity, and Sonic Unleashed wasn't even out yet, so... Anyway, I'll say this. If Chris didn't see the robots for whatever reason before recognize them, he definitely should have realized this was an Eggman plot when they were like, oh, you know, you have to go through this obstacle course full of deadly spike traps.
Okay,
And
but apparently the obstacle course was provided by the Thorndikes. So, wait, what? How did Eggman arrange that?
wait,
He
yeah, you're right. What the
manipulated-
fuck?
He manipulated Chris's dad.
He got him on in, like, an online crypto scheme on Facebook.
Oh no.
It would actually be really funny if Eggman like stole money from Chris's family to fund their operations, and they just never knew because they're just
They're
that
so
rich.
wealthy.
yeah, they're that... Well,
Like-
and oblivious, too.
Yeah, their
Well.
accountant says, where'd this like $10 million go? And don't worry about
Yeah, don't bother me. I'm too busy right now to worry
it.
about
Too
such
busy
trivial
making
matters.
money. Too busy making my money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But so it's a relay race. So we get Knuckles going first, and yeah, he glides over the spike trap. He jumps straight through the car that they try to drop on him.
I hope that car didn't work. Someone could probably use it.
Not now.
Of course not now.
No, this is my old car just died. The transmission fucked up, so this is
Oh, it's
my
this
car.
good.
I've decided.
Yeah, you know what? That's
Oh, okay. Rip your car.
It's okay. But Knuckles shows off his wall climbing prowess as well, and Sonic tries to just show off while he's doing it. It's like, wait your fucking turn. And then, yeah, we see that this is all Eggman gathering battle data for his new robot, the one on the cover. And, you know, I think it makes sense that Eggman would make a robot like this, because this feels like it's taken inspiration from the Emerald stuff.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
Yeah.
think they ever actually say that, which is odd. But I can presume that Yardley had that in mind, because he is at least a Sonic fan.
Sure, yeah. It seems like a pretty simple assumption to make.
Tails goes next, and Chris finally takes responsibility and says, hey, the cameramen are the henchbots.
And
Yeah.
Chuck immediately,
He doesn't believe him. You're right in
Yeah.
fucking front of you.
what else? A child says something and adult immediately disregards it.
You can't even look at him. Look at him. Oh no, actually no. They're wearing shirts, which if the Eggman Santa issue is anything
yes,
to go
of
by, is a
course.
perfect disguise.
Of course.
Yep.
The relay passes to Amy, and hey, they made reverse hedgehog hammer because this time you're supposed to hit the Eggman.
Yeah.
Sonic finishes the course last, and he goes around a loop, grinds down a rail, and then for some reason has to spin dash through a brick wall.
Are these things Sonic? I guess the loop and the rail grinding, but spin dashing through. No. Actually, I'll give them spin dashing through a wall.
I guess it just doesn't feel like a showcase of Sonic specific. That's a Knuckles
Not
thing more.
particularly. Yeah.
Also, man, you look at the background. Boken does nothing but just eat absurd amounts of junk food.
Yep.
Yeah, he ate an entire bowl of pop.
Well, he filled his entire mouth with what are these called? Goo Goo bees? The fuck are those?
Bit of honey. I don't know.
It's some kind of candy, but whatever. Anyway, here it is. The robot is complete. It's got all the data that it needs, and it's neat. It's cool looking, I think.
It's got
Yeah.
a cool design. I'm a little annoyed they never ever give it a name, so now I have to refer to it as that one
I'll tell you.
robot from the Sonic X comics.
Well, the wiki calls this thing the X Robot because when Tracy Yardley uploaded concept art of it to his DeviantArt, he named it X Robot. That was the name of the upload. Whether that means
there you
that's the
go.
robot's name or just the robot I designed for Sonic X, I don't know, but that's what this thing is called now by fans. It's the X Robot.
Okay, well that's
Fair
better
enough.
than nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. So the X Robot, yeah, it's got kind of a Sonic-shaped head, but it's got spins, it's got kicks, it has spiked knuckles, it has rotors on its back to fly like tails, it even has a hammer for pummeling.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, how come there never was a scene like this with Emerald? Because having that fight all of the heroes with their own abilities, or whatever they're weak to, I guess, Pokemon style.
Sure.
And then I realized that does exist in Sonic Battle. It's just that you, the player, control it.
Right.
And yeah, no, we just have action here. I don't know if I have anything specific to say about it. It's neat. You know, Yardley is good for it.
There's this little funny moment where it like switches to Amy mode and is like love struck by Sonic for a second and then gets attacked and then becomes angry and then starts attacking Sonic because yes, Amy would do that.
Yeah, I do love that he gets sad when he hits it. The wiki says, I don't know how true it is, but the wiki says this thing's color scheme is inspired by the mass production Harpy units from the end of Evangelion, which is a weird reference if so, but it wouldn't be the last time Ava got referenced in Sonic.
Gonna give that a citation needed personally.
Yeah, white and red robot is not...
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It is a nice color scheme, though. I do like it. It makes it distinct looking.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that color scheme is used fairly often.
Anywho, the strat to take down the robot is to catch it off guard by confusing it, because apparently it can only prepare for one opponent at a time, which seems like a cop-out because you were all fighting it at once, seemingly all fighting it at once before.
Yeah, that's
So, I don't know, maybe they just could have communicated that better.
The idea is that they weren't really cooperating, and then they tried to actually start cooperating, and that's how they did it. I don't know.
Fair.
Oh, I completely forgot to point out, but before we end this comic, there's a bit in the background at one point where Bocoe like buys a pizza, and they have money. How? Where did they get the money from?
Yeah, you inconsistent writers. Maybe Bocoe has his own, private funds that Eggman doesn't know about.
Yeah, he's got his own.
Oh my gosh! But how does? What? Okay.
I don't know.
But yes, one of them distracts the robot at a time, and then the others dogpile it. So Sonic stands in the way, only for Amy, Knuckles, and Tails to hit it, and then he goes up, and then it attacks Tails, but then Knuckles throws Amy at it to open Sonic up for the killing blow. And I love how sad it looks when it's buried partway in the ground and Sonic is about to destroy it. A monster. And yeah, it gets destroyed. Boy, it's like, we mentioned in the show, it's like the X doesn't mean anything in Sonic X, but now we have Sonic X, the secret group, and now we have the X robot.
The X means a lot more in these comics than it ever meant.
And it's funny because they don't use the X Tornado very much in these.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
And I kind of wish that this thing had stuck around a little longer. Sonic X doesn't have its own Metal Sonic. If you gave this thing more of a personality, this is 4 medals in one. There's potential there.
True.
And they just killed it.
Yeah, it could have been cool, but nah. You only get one-off ideas in these comics, usually.
Basically.
Well, maybe one day we'll have a counterpart to Sonic in Sonic X. Anyway, here's Sonic X number 25, and we've got 6 of them.
Okay, but they won't stick around for more than this comic. That's the problem.
Yes, indeed. I must say, though, I love this cover. It's the first Sonic X issue, but now there's too many Sonics.
It is funny.
Hey, look, we got introduced to Scourge a few weeks early.
Yep, and Super Sonic separated from Sonic again.
Oh, you're right. It's an Archie and Sonic X and Sonic the Comic crossover.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, this is the Color Sonic, Flynn and Yardley. Sonic and friends are shocked to see 5 multicolored copies of Sonic wreaking havoc all over Station Square. Who could be behind this? Is that a reference to the color purple? Weird reference. But yes, a bunch of DeviantArt Sonic recolors are causing havoc all over town.
Yeah, basically.
They are the recolors. They are.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, red one breaks a car, yellow one throws a brick through a window, purple one knocks over a fruit cart, green one smacks the bad Irish accent cop. And I want to note, by the way, that I went back and rewatched the first episode of Sonic X. The Irish cop is in the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. He is in the show, and he has a bad Irish accent for unclear reasons. So it is the comics that decided to say, oh, he has the accent because he's constantly practicing the wrong accents for plays. So that was actually a good affix to a thing that didn't make any sense in the 4Kids dub.
This comic does actually fix a few things about the show, but it introduces a lot of other things, too.
I guess that's one of those things.
It's still writing the line with continuity, but yes, so that's so odd. Anyway, The thing that I was
Interesting.
gonna say is that it's funny that wreaking havoc, in terms of the orange one, he just eats too much and has bad breath.
Eats a lot of garlic.
Well, it almost seems like they might have different personalities, but they don't stick to this.
That would be such an interesting idea, but no.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Because it feels a lot of the time like these issues are lacking the page space to get things done. But these are the only comics we've read that I don't think ever have more than one story in an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the same length
No.
as the Archie comics.
Yeah, they're not lacking page space. They just don't use the pages.
Yeah, well, this one had an idea for its second half that we'll get to, but, yeah. So everyone sees this on the news, and Sonic doesn't know what to make of it, because who could know? Also, Ella, why are you white?
Oh, yeah.
They have drawn her pasty pale. Anyway, but it turns out, we see very quickly, that all of the clones are the work of the Science Man from Sonic X. He cloned Sonic several times, but he kept messing up the color.
Okay, like
All right, I
This-
guess, yeah.
the military guy rightfully walks in is like, why did you just get the color wrong? Couldn't you get the color right? They're like, are you kidding me? You know how hard it was to make a nearly perfect clone, which I guess fair enough, but
Fair.
wouldn't you have like dyed their fur or something?
Yeah, well, and you released them without, the plan was to frame Sonic for crimes, but if you can
Right.
see that they're not blue, then it ruins the
It doesn't
plan.
fucking matter.
So
Yeah.
all you have to do is put them in shadow, and then no one will know.
Oh yeah,
True.
maybe he should have just made shadows, then they would have thought they were Sonic anyway.
So,
Yeah, true.
And also, they say, like, oh, biologic, but they also say these things are androids, so...
Well, the guy is like, they're basically androids made out of flesh, which
yeah, they're
Okay.
carbon-based androids.
um
Sure,
yeah.
why not?
maybe that kind of sounds interesting. Maybe do something with that, but no, they don't.
Yeah.
So the organizer calls them up to show them that the real Sonic has challenged the fakes on the news, and also there's still one clone left in the tank. I wonder what's up with that. But the fakes, they all show up to combat Sonic, and all 6 of them fight. But Sonic is disappointed because they're not as slick or as quippy as he is.
Yeah, they don't talk, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they
I
say
feel like
nothing.
they could have
which
talked, yeah.
They should have, yeah.
Again, give them unique personalities. It's like they do keep destroying things in the midst of this fight. They drop a telephone pole on this lady's car. Also, she transitions genders between panels because when the thing
Oh, yeah.
falls on the car, it's a man in the car. When you see it close up later, it's a lady.
That's an unfortunate error. Or unfortunate?
I think it's just a
an
case.
error.
It's I think it's funny, but I think it's a case of
It's
like
funny, yeah.
Yardley drew one panel and then the next morning started on the next page and forgot what he had drawn maybe.
Sure, yeah.
Huh, that's funny.
Anyway, but yes, this means that Sonic can't really fight at full power because of the collateral damage. But luckily, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy are here. They will make up the difference, and that just means these guys are extra pathetic, because if they were anything like Sonic, it's one thing for Sonic to beat Sonic, it's something else entirely for Sonic's friends to easily beat multiple Sonics at once.
Yeah.
And case in point, Knuckles is like, these guys are not that hard. But they are still dangerous to people that aren't as strong. So they're like, alright, we gotta lure them somewhere else. And only now is Eggman part of this story, waking up to... I love the panel of him being shocked to see the Rainbow Sonics. People have posted that out of context before.
Yeah, I like
That's a
that
good
that
panel.
Eggman is like, I must still be having a nightmare right now, because yeah, that's a fair reaction to that.
Yeah. Also, have we seen this sleeping gown that looks like his coat before?
I don't think we have.
It doesn't look familiar. I like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that big zipper down the entire middle part of your body is like, that's the Robotnik design language.
Yep.
Even Maria has that in her outfit. But there's Eggman. It's funny because Sonic leads them to Eggman's base, and Eggman's like, I won't miss a chance to shoot at the hedgehogs. So he arms his facility, and it's very odd because obviously the duplicate Sonics are reduced to nothing but dust, and they're robots, so that's fine. But
Sure.
that panel of them on the screen that everybody says, oh, Sonic finally came out of the closet. That's the last time we see any of them until Sonic picks up one of their discarded shoes. And I realized why. These things are bioorganisms, and it would probably be wrong, or at least against Sega's guidelines, to show anything that looks like Sonic getting ripped apart by heavy artillery.
Yeah, Sonic is in the lead, and so in one panel you just see Sonic, but you don't see far behind them, and then there's explosions behind them on the next page, so you can assume the clones got blown up there.
Yeah, but it's like you couldn't draw it. They wouldn't be allowed, probably.
Yeah.
But yes, the one shoe that's left conveniently has Sonic X written on the bottom.
Because they had to sign it.
Apparently. And, you know, the Doctor is not exactly... Mad scientists in Sonic don't have their priorities in order.
For real.
Yeah.
But so, Sonic is headed to Prison Island, and Eggman just goes back to bed, which is funny. But, you know, the Doctor he's frantically obsessing over his imperfections and failures. I only have one copy left, and it won't be perfect, but it will be classic.
Okay, yeah, I like this. When I was thinking about the other ones, I was like, it's kind of weird that they're perfect except the color is wrong. It would be more fun if they were all strange in some other sort of way. This is a way that I'll accept. I like this.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's like, I thought, like, is this an anniversary? It's not. I don't think so, at least.
It's just for the love of the sport.
But I had completely, you know, I looked at some of these issues after we had started the show, not before we were covering these, obviously, but, you know, it's like, I had no idea that Classic Sonic had come back before Generations.
That is interesting. That's an interesting point.
And he's, you know, it's a very, like, sort of in-between classic design, because it's not quite Japanese Classic Sonic, it's not quite American box art Classic Sonic, but he does have the head bump, you know, that sort of looks like the... He doesn't I don't think he has the quill mohawk, but you can't really see it closely.
Not really, but...
Because...
This is modern enough design philosophy that he wouldn't have that anyway.
Yeah. Well, and part of it is that we don't get to look at it because, as much as I do think this is a cool idea, it is disappointing, because...
Yeah, he's dealt with really quickly.
They fight, and Sonic uses the fake Sonic compulsion for collateral damage to destroy the lab. For all of one page, there are a whole 2 drawings of Classic Sonic in this comic. Sorry, 3 drawings of Classic Sonic in this comic, and the rest he's just in a spinball, which is basically identical to other Sonic. And it's like, okay, you know, that's 6 panels, half of which, again, are just spinball, before the rest of Sonic X breaks in, and they're like, go, shoot at Sonic, and he's hidden by the smoke, which means you know what happens, which is that they shoot at the fake, and so he dies.
Good ideas never last long here.
Sonic is awful chill with watching versions of himself be brutally murdered. Even if they looked a little different, I feel like that'd have some effect on me if it were me.
Yeah, when you watch like a younger looking version of yourself get brutally shot down.
I mean, I guess this is a bit different, but they're used to lots of robot copies, so...
Fair.
I feel like the classic Sonic showing up, that should have been the halfway point in a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Because just imagine, instead of this face-off panel...
Sonic like an actually big deal.
Yeah, like imagine instead of this face-off panel here, you cut that out and you just say, oh, what could this possibly mean? To be continued. And then you just have the next issue for the classic Sonic stuff. And that means that if you got rid of some of these extraneous ending pages, you could do more stuff with the other Sonic.
Yeah.
So, although I guess, you know, I don't know how they decide what becomes a 2-parter and what doesn't. It may not be up to the individual writers, and it may be something the editorial staff does. I don't know. That sort of thing wouldn't surprise me, but it is disappointing. Especially for an issue that's not entertaining, it's just disappointing.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah. Anyway, the day is saved. Sonic X are all mad at each other because this happened. Sonic says that one was actually tough, even though it didn't really look like it. The news says, yeah, it wasn't actually Sonic, but he beat them and he won. And the last page is a complete non sequitur where Eggman says, that's it, you people have stood in my way long enough, I'm going to become a professional wrestler.
Alrighty then.
Alright.
And with that, that is the end of our comics for today. We will have to wait till next time to see El Gran Gordo.
I've been waiting for him.
Yes. So, you know, they've really settled into an episodic pattern here. This was better than, like, the Leprechaun shit or the Elvis impersonator shit, but it is, you know, you can feel the repetition. The Toys comic was just not great in general, I would say.
Yeah, that was the weakest of the batch today, for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, Sonic X as an organization, I think, could be somewhat useful for providing an interesting spin on the formula, but they're not too different from Eggman in terms of execution.
Oh yeah, I'd be concerned that they end up being like the Eggman cult from Fleetway, where they seem cool at the gate, and the more we see of them, the less cool they get.
It's one of those
Well-
concept versus execution things, but I will say
Yeah.
I think they are better than that, because those guys were like, oh, what an interesting idea, and then every single time they appeared, they were just pathetic and embarrassing. There was nothing to
Yeah.
really take seriously about them. These guys are pathetic and embarrassing on purpose, and
Sure, yeah, because I mean that makes sense.
they're as much a threat for the accidental damage they cause as the intentional.
Right.
Yeah. These
And-
ones get your expectations clear from the start.
Sure, yeah.
exactly. And I do like the idea of, like, the gang of minor former characters that bands together to beat Sonic, but can't quite do it the way Eggman can.
Right.
Right.
Which is sort of like, it reminds me of, like, the Goon Squad from Archie, where it's just like, alright, we have all of these henchmen, just throw them in a big pile.
It is always a funny idea.
Because honestly, what is there to say about the Mogul Fearsome Foursome? Who cares about those guys?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Can you tell I've been taking notes on the Flynn era of Archie?
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's all right. There's still fun to be had here. It's just like we
Sure.
have 3 episodes of X Comics left, and I don't know if we're gonna get tired of it by the end.
And
I mean, I'm a bit tired of it, but
I'm definitely a
not-
bit tired of it also, but
I'm not as exhausted by this as maybe other things. Although I don't think we've been doing this as long as other things either.
Well,
I don't think
by,
this is going to go long enough for us to get it.
Yeah.
by episode 5 of the Sonic X show, you were both fucking done with it. So the fact
yeah,
that
but like,
Oh,
yeah,
there's
but I
still
didn't, I
any-
didn't like I didn't like the Sonic X show period from the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is extremely easy to beat the Sonic X show.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this significantly more than the Sonic
Yeah.
X show.
All right. Well, we'll see what you do and don't enjoy next time on Deep Dive Zone, because we'll be covering more comics, but for now, that is where we are finished off. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my co-hosts for being here. If you like this episode, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can reach us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. With all that said, we will see you next week for another exciting episode. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And take care.